Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fly Center Practice, Powertime Practice here on Saturday, July 11th, 2020. My name is Sucharita. For those of you who don't know me, wishing you all a very warm welcome. And as more people join, we will get started with our topic of discussion for this week. And we are going to be talking about how we can connect with the goddess. So we came off a full moon, and it was a special full moon called Guru Purnima, and it was to connect with all divine beings, all archetypes, all energies of spiritual masters, gods, goddesses. The vortex was open in the cosmos, and that energy got beamed into us, and it was a little overwhelming for some people who were sharing their experiences in different programs and also giving their feedback about how it was for them since then. So we're coming into a new moon, and it is a powerful time of the year to connect with the energies of our ancestors. And just prior to that full moon, we have a sun transit that is going to be moving into the sign of Cancer, and the moon rules Cancer. So the moon represents our mind, the moon represents the goddess energy, and this is a very significant transit of the sun. It transits a sign every 30 days. However, as it's transiting through Cancer, it is on its way to activating that energy of connecting with the divine beings in a more profound and internal way. So as it is above, so it is within us. And then as it is within us, then that gets reflected out into our lives. So welcome to everyone who has been joining for the first time, and then those of you who have been following Dr. Ply's teachings and this practice, Powertime practice, for all these years. My name is Sucharita, for those of you who don't know me, in case I haven't said that already. So we had a wonderful webinar today, which I highly recommend that you take a look at or listen to. It's posted on the YouTube, and maybe somebody here can also post that link so that you can also access it through Ply Center YouTube or Ply Center website. And I shared about this power time that's going to be kicking off 6 months of tremendous spiritual energy that is coming into the earth plane from July 16th onwards. So it is a power time for us to acknowledge our soul's journey to this point in our life and perhaps in lifetimes. It's a time where all the heavenly beings are ready to be propitiated. So this month of Aadi starts from July 16th, when the sun is transiting through the sign of Cancer. And then it is going to be lighting up our soul, connecting it with our mind. And that union of our soul and our mind are going to be helping us to navigate life, especially during these uncertain times where it's not so pleasant, and we're being immersed in all kinds of restlessness, all kinds of negativity, all kinds of scarcity consciousness. People are absolutely afraid to go out without their mask, to go out without their gloves, to go anywhere near any other human being. And that could be the new norm for a while. So it's creating this separation anxiety or loss of our freedom to just move about freely. And we need to do it because COVID is deadly. So we can't kick and scream, although we feel like we need to. And we can't take it out on anyone. We can't take it out on our governments, our educators, our politicians. We can't take it out on religious traditions and say, or even get mad at God and say, why is this happening? We can't get mad at the economy. It is a time period for all of us, as Dr. Ply shares and all the masters do, to go inside naturally. because the answers are all within. Now, how do we do that? It's not so easy. It's easier said than done. And as we go inside, we start to see all those nooks and crannies, all those skeletons in our closets, all those childhood hurts and pain and suffering that we've carried for decades that we haven't been able to take a look at. And however, it's probably a good idea to do that right now, because we can isolate ourselves to be able to face it all, and then to have that isolation time where we can reflect and get the support that we need. Of course, if we need extra counseling or we need therapy, this is what the goddess wants us to do. So the gods and the goddesses are there in the spiritual realms, and the spiritual realms aren't just in the heavenly spaces like as in above us. They are all around us. It's a consciousness. It comes from high states of being, very high vibrational states. And that's why we use mantra practices. That's why we get into meditations, to get into that stream of consciousness, that divine Wi-Fi connection from inside of us to the cosmic beings. So this 6 months is going to be kicked off by this Aadi month. So Aadi, again, is the month between mid-July to mid-August, and power times are us. You can go check that video out, or the webinar that was done earlier today, and it will be posted to YouTube or Apply Center as well. And so it'll tell you exactly when to pray to who, to do what, and so on. But I'll just give you a little bit of review for those people who didn't get to jump on. And so what it is this Tamil month is a divine month. It's filled with power, protection, and material and spiritual blessings from the goddess. So the goddess is a consciousness. It is an archetypal image. It comes in different shapes and forms, just like we all do here on the earth plane. We're all human beings, but we all have different backgrounds. We have different shapes, different skin colors, different viewpoints of view. We have different beliefs. We have different hopes and dreams. So everybody is a world unto themselves in this world that we live in, that is interfaced with all these spiritual worlds, or these divine lokas, they call it. And so this space of consciousness. So the blessings of the goddess will activate the Kundalini energy inside of us that we can activate by rocking our chakras with either mantras or meditations or rituals, or participating in these huge yajnas, these huge services that are going to be helping us to evolve individually. Although when we sponsor them or participate in that sponsorship, it is helping the whole world. So we get to sort of kill two birds with one stone, in that we get to experience the blessings for ourselves, for our own evolution, for our own well-being, our health and happiness, and our material pursuits, our comforts, our joy, our relationships. We get to rise above all the karmic challenges that we are faced. And the goddess wants us to do that. So she raises the Kundalini energy. And then if we do decide to participate in these huge yajnas that are done in India on our behalf, and then collectively, who's ever sponsoring it, that is doing the world a world of good. So the entire month of Aadi is particularly sacred for invoking the blessings of the life-changing, dynamic, divine feminine Shakti. So what does Shakti mean? It means to shock our systems. It means to just, hey, wake up. We need energy. We're getting depressed. Depression is low energy. We don't even want to get off the bed. What's the point? So all these intellectual ways of dealing with our problems are kind of like coping mechanisms. They put a band-aid on the situation so that we can kind of heal as we go along. However, if we connect with the goddess, it will do miracles for us, and we need to feel the goddess. So as Dr. Play shared, this is the most powerful time because it's several weeks long. It's about 5 weeks of connecting with the goddess really intensely. And then it continues on as well for a couple more weeks after that. So every week there are lots of different services that you can read about on Ashtabet Apply Center, and then find out how you can connect with these different beings who give us that nurturing that we may have never had before. We may have thought that I'm never going to have that love and that unconditional love or that connection with the mother in my life, or motherly figures in my life, or goddess. It's kind of like I'm separated from all that. I missed out on all that. Well, and then that's that deep longing inside of our body, our mind, our soul. Why me? Why did it have to happen to me? And now with COVID, it's like you can't even reach out and feel any comfort. So the goddess is not going to allow us to be in suffering and pain. So the more we connect with her, whether you do that through the free practices that you can do at home that we'll share about, and you're going to experience it in a meditation that we'll get into partway through this presentation. So you will understand, oh, yes, I need to honor the goddess. I need to connect with her, regardless if I had a motherly love or that relationship with a mother. It's beyond that. And then it will actually heal that relationship or help you to come to terms with it in a way that you understand the suffering that was passed through the generations, that perhaps you and your mother had to do a little dance. And it wasn't a divine dance. It was a problematic dance. Now there are relationships with mothers that are fabulous. So you can go deeper into that relationship and really enjoy it. And even if your mother is no more, you can experience the love coming from the ancestral realms, especially during this Aadi month, because the new moon that is going to be coming up this week is all about connecting with the ancestors. It's one of the most powerful new moons of the year. And this new moon is associated with removing curses that you've inherited from the lineage. Did we sign up for that? Mm-mm. And here we are. We can see it in our lives. It shows up as perhaps marital problems, or you can't even get a relationship. You're trying to go on dates and it's just not happening. You're not finding the right gal or the right guy. And then you just settle for someone who is close enough. And there is no real right guy or wrong guy, or right girl or wrong girl. It's just that we're trying to activate that connection, but there's something that comes in the way that spoils it. And so that's how we know that there is some congested negative energy coming through the ancestral lineage that says, listen, we are inheriting this generation after generation after generation, problematic relationships, problematic marriages, maybe divorce, maybe more marriages, maybe more divorce. And that costs us a lot of energy, time and money and resources and pain and suffering. And then if there's kids in the mix, OMG, it's really tough. It's very painful. So the goddess is like, okay, we need to hit the reset, just like we're going through with this COVID. We're forced to face all of our challenges and figure it out and use our intelligence to find a way out, how to navigate it, not as a coping mechanism. So like not as a touchy-feely, oh, I hope I'm just going to float through this. No, we've got to really use our power of intelligence, our energy, and then go and find a way out. And then the goddess will open doors that were not ever available for us, or we didn't know about them. So we take one step towards the goddess every day during this Aadi month, and she will open many doors effortlessly. So that's the Shakti, that's the energy, that's the power. And she gives you your life purpose, meaning, clarity. You feel alive, you feel like you're in bliss, you feel like you have this motivation and drive to fulfill whatever your heart's desires are and deal with those pains of the past, either emotional pain, physical pain, mental pain. It can be body pain or diseases you've inherited as well. So this week ahead is going to be maybe pushing our buttons to make us to see that this is a no kidding. This is what's deep inside of us, and we need to deal with it. And then we can call on the goddess. Okay, help me to find the right people to support me, and I'm ready to deal with it. Because there's no use in going and doing spiritual practices if you don't take the steps in life to resolve those kinds of deep-seated, heartbreaking issues. So Aadi Goddess Month is a time to awaken the goddess and get her blessings to help cut through the darkness, bring that knowledge, that intelligence, that power that you need to persevere and to overcome your obstacles. So when the goddess is present, then you have this joy, this energy, and you're laughing for no reason, even in all the challenging times. And that's what separates us from those who give up. This is what it's been predicted, that 2020 is going to be a year where we're going to see a lot of people who are depressed and be forced to take medication because they haven't found out how to meditate yet. They haven't found out that there's a spiritual way or spiritual solution or divine solution to their problems. It will help to bring you relief from your problems. And then you can go get the help that you need, probably without the medication. It's not to say that you may not need it, but you won't have to depend on it. So this sun in Cancer is going to light up this motherly, nurturing quality inside of us, and then it will attract us to situations, to people who also want to support you in healing, and they will also receive the healing energy. So you'll do this dance with everyone, perhaps here at Ply Center, or in other spiritual groups if you're just visiting, and you're welcome to do that. And then find out how you can connect with the goddess, either by reading about her, and then there's these very powerful pujas or rituals that make you to feel rich and wealthy and healthy and wise. Happening every Friday. There's a Bhagavati Seva, Aadi Paraku, the goddess month. There's 8 supreme goddesses during Aadi month. So read about all of that and you will feel connected to the cosmos. This is all happening as above, so it is here. And when we tune into that play of consciousness, then we will raise our vibration. And Dr. Ply's Grace and Blessings is asking the goddess to awaken the Kundalini, the Shakti energy inside of us. So there's 33 Supreme Goddess ceremonies to invoke 8 forms of the goddesses and get the blessings from Rajarajeshwari, Lalita Tripura Sundari, Durga, Mangala Ambigai, Angali, Pratyangari, Mahalakshmi, Annapurneshwari. And these goddesses are, again, a consciousness that is inside of us. It already is there. We need to do something to unlock the secrets. So even if you can't afford it, it's not fitting into your budget right now, read about them and they will start to awaken their consciousness inside of you, and you will feel this tearing up, this divine energy that says, I am loved, I am lovable, and no matter what I've done, I will be forgiven and I will be able to forgive others. And when we can just let go of all of that, then the floodgates open and the magic begins. So please check that out on Pali Center or Astraved. And these 5 Aadi Fridays will help you to connect with all these goddesses energy. And then you will be able to understand on Fridays, it's so important to thereafter even to connect with the goddess energy. Because people always say, Sutrita, I don't know what day to pray to what goddess or god. This is what it is. And we need to feel it inside of us so that we know the difference as the days go by. So this Varalakshmi Vratam, it's a day of boon bestowing goddess. And this is a form, Vara means to give a boon or a gift. And Lakshmi represents wealth, consciousness. So it's a boon bestowing Friday. It's an auspicious day. During Aadi month to call on this goddess Mahalakshmi, and then she gives the 8 powers or gifts. So it's called Ashta Lakshmi, meaning 8 forms of Lakshmi that have superpowers to be able to destroy obstacles blocking your wealth accumulation and give you that wisdom, that ability to make wise decisions and not based on emotional upheaval. And sometimes that's how we make decisions because there's no way out. And so we just kind of like give up and we throw ourselves to the ground and we cry and we roll around, or we get down on our knees and we're just like, I don't know what to do. And then we feel some shift. So we don't have to do it so dramatically. We can save that energy and then allow this wisdom, which is beyond the intellect. It's an energy, it's an intelligence. And we sometimes may experience it as heat, or we may experience it as an idea that comes to us. And then all of a sudden that we're happy and joyous for no reason. Those are all signs that the goddess has gotten into us and is moving us. She is saying, okay, get off your butt, get off the bed. No one's going to do this for you. You are your own world. When we shut the eyes, what happens to the world around us? The world around us exists, but then we have this interior world, this internal world, and that's where the goddess lives. And then she shines through our being, and she has that sparkle or twinkle in our eyes. And then we start to recognize the twinkle in everyone else's eyes. And then we know, oh my God, this is what goddess energy is. So most people think, oh, it's the god that gives, the masculine energy of the god consciousness that gives enlightenment. That is true. However, it's the Shakti, the power, the energy to do whatever it is that we need to do to clean up our life, to declutter. So these are some of the things that you want to do at home. Is you can chant mantras to the goddess. You can meditate on the goddess. You can offer her the different items that represent the elements that make up ourselves and everything in the universe and everything here on the earth plane, because this is part of the universe. And so things that represent earth, water, fire, air, and space. So you can offer food that represents the earth. You can offer water. You can offer a light or candlelight or a ghee lamp to the goddess, and that represents fire element. Then we have the air element that is represented by incense or smudging or sage, sage smudge to clear the energy and get past the ego that says, oh my God, this is so weird. But then something happens. We feel this shift inside of us with all that smoke around us. Not that we're going to get smoked out, but that's the idea, is to see what's beyond the smoke, from the incense, and that represents the air element. Then there is the space, and that is the ether or the space, the Akashic records. Everyone's heard of that. So we want to go to that place. And how do we get there in the space? Just like we would send a text message. You use your phone to send the text message, or you can use your computer or your iPad or whatever it is, the technical device, to send off a an instant message. So just like that, we use flowers. We offer the flowers to bring that divine text message to the realm of the goddesses. So earth, water, fire, air, space, you can offer those different items, and that's called a puja or an elementalization to a picture of the goddess, an image of the goddess that you like. You can download an image, or you can have a statue. For example, this is a statue of the goddess Lakshmi Shrimbrazi, and she is the one who gives you wealth, health, happiness, peace, prosperity, enlightenment. She's the one who is the goddess of the golden age, and she has this three-hooded snake here that comes up like an umbrella, or perhaps even a large hat that will, it's like a sunscreen hat, a sun hat, and it will block out anything that is going to create negative congested energies coming your way. So preventing you from experiencing beautiful relationships and healed relationships, even with those people who you've been bickering and fighting with for so long, you can't even remember how or when it started, and you just want it to end. And you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You truly do love them. They could be your family members. They could be your friends or your colleagues at work. And you just haven't been able to see eye to eye. And you want to get this done. This is our karma that we want to learn from. We don't want to come back again and again and try to figure it out in a new way. So this goddess will help you to heal all that. And then she gives you the wisdom to know how to use your time and energy and money wisely. And so when we offer those 5 different items to this image, then the energy comes alive inside this image. So then you start to feel it, and it radiates out into your space wherever she is. You will just be connecting with her, and then, whoa, some message comes to you. We need that, because otherwise we're just groping in the dark, or we're just trying to figure out how to connect with the spiritual realm. So these types of images, statues, another one is the image of the yantra. So the yantra is a sacred geometry, and it has different script there in the upward facing triangle interface with the downward facing triangle, meaning that the energy of the divine is pointing down and we are pointing up. So that's how the divine speaks or lands in our space. And then we can offer those different items to activate the intelligence that will come in to this landing pad and then radiate out into the space. You can hold on to it, you can pray with it, you can put it in your wallet. There are no hard and fast rules with Dr. Pillai. He wants you to understand that you need something to grab onto. You need something to see, because otherwise you will just be like not understanding who to call on, who is this showing up? How does it feel? So, and then it helps you also to unlock the secrets to the spiritual realm. So this start of the 6 months where the sun is going on its downward cycle, it is, the sun represents our soul, and then the moon represents our mind. So this beautiful connection can happen quite readily and easily, and will feel lovely. We'll feel in alignment with our true self, because everything that we've gone after in life is now kind of blowing up, isn't it? It's not really making a difference here or there as far as our happiness goes or our well-being goes. We could live with it or live without it. We're in isolation, so what's the point? So, and we don't want to get to that point where we feel dissatisfied. We want to go for something more that is more in alignment with our natural self, our evolution of who we truly are, our highest selves, that is able to manifest and create through the help of the goddess. So Vara Lakshmi, Vara means boon, and Lakshmi means wealth. And so this Vara Lakshmi will give the 8 forms of wealth. And you can experience that as well during this month. And then there is the Aadi, and that is, you can remove scarcity consciousness. It gives, it helps you to access Annapurna, which is a form of Lakshmi, who helps to make sure that everyone is fed and they have clothing and they have shelter and they have medicines and they have everything they need for this body to sustain itself here on the earth plane. So you can also participate in Bhagavati Seva Puja, which is to manifest abundance and restore peace and balance on the first and the last day of the month. And then there are 7 grand fire labs at Asherved Remedy Center, and for the Lalita Sahasranam, the crown chakra. You'll feel your crown chakra moving and dancing and like a lotus blooming. You know, you can read about this, but until you get that activated, you won't, anyone can talk about it and describe it, but you won't ever know what it feels like unless you can have that experience. So this is a way to do it through these sacred rituals. Durga removes dukkha. So Durga is this goddess who has all these weapons, and she goes and she just roots out things like anger, frustration, depression. She's the one who says, you know what, you're ratcheting all these childhood memories or these hurts and pain and suffering caused by divorce or separation, or you just can't get along with people. She will just root all that out, and she will help you to be surrounded by people who are going to give you a lot of comfort and joy, peace, and the energy to do it. Because we all just like, okay, well, I guess that's my karma and that's what I have to accept. Not the goddess Durga. She just says, no way. I'm going to just go and ride on my lion or on my tiger, and I'm going to roar and make sure that those dark forces stay away from you. And then she helps to repair marriages or marital problems. So those people who have lifelong partners also are included in that as well. So she will remove that negative energy that we can't get to on our own. And just speaking about it isn't going to really do it or have that understanding. Of course, that's helpful, but we want to experience this. And this is the month to experience energy and empower and empowerment and enlightenment, even during COVID times. Actually, during COVID time is the best time because it's the worst time. So how will we know that the goddess came in with all this light, all this power, all this energy, is when it's so dark. So we won't know the light unless it's the opposite is there, all that dark, congested, negative energy that surrounds us. And every time we go out, we're frustrated. We can't even breathe behind the mask. We don't even know what people are doing behind the mask. We don't even connect with anyone. And we're all just going along and we're kind of being robotic about it. But then we come home, we take our mask and throw it and go, what is this? Or we just become mechanical about it. We go, okay, well, I'll just do this. And we become like zombies. So again, not that I'm against that. We're not saying that at all. It's just how to get the goddess into us so that we will experience joy and light and see it as this is the way it is. However, we've got to find a way out. So collectively, if we call on the divine, as Dr. Pillai shares, and all the masters are doing as well in their teachings of everyone who they are connecting with, is that we need divine intervention, which means a higher intelligence. It's not about religion. It's not about tradition or culture or anything. Everyone is welcome. It's a spiritual awakening. It's an opening. And it starts with us inside from the base of our spine and connects with all the chakras. It pierces them. It throws out all this negative congested energy. And the goddess wants to come and clean that up. You have to give her something to do. So it's okay to have those experiences. But however, as we've been sharing in different calls throughout the week, in the different programs, the wealth actualization formula program, people have been saying, look at, I'm just really upset and I'm sad or I'm angry or I'm frustrated, I'm mad, I'm depressed. What do I do? What do I do? And this is the time perhaps you need to go and see a therapist, or you need to go and get counseling or support. You need to do that either online or in person, however that is for you. And the goddess is telling you, I'm going to empower you to do that, to get it done, so that when you go ahead and you do your spiritual practices, you're free of it, and you will be free of it. So she helps us to look in our lives and repair everything in our life that we haven't been able to do up until this point. So all these different rituals and remedies, oh my goodness, there's 3 priests, Angali Homa. So Angali is the goddess of the golden age, who, along with Shrimberzi, is going to help us to root out that ignorance, that which is causing darkness and causing us to repeat again and again and again the mistakes over and over and over again. So Angali is this intelligence that is beyond the mind, it's beyond the body, and it's kind of like a little bit spooky. Some people say that when they connect with Angali, like they're just, whoa, what is this energy? Because it's so unknown. You can't even pinpoint it. You can't put your thumb on it, your finger on it. So it's there to protect you. So it's a very protective goddess. She dispels fear. She dissolves sins. And she grants overall victory. So victory is you feel successful. You feel success no matter what challenges you have faced in your life. She will root all that out, but she's going to show you what it is first. Do you want this anymore? Do you want suffering? Do you want horrible relationships? Do you want no financial wisdom? Or do you want to be always in debt? Do you want to feel sad and alone? And she will just put it right in your face. And that's a little bit alarming for some. However, when we see, as everyone talks about, when you face that which you fear the most, it has no hold on you anymore. And then when we invite the goddess, she goes, okay, thank you very much. Now I will take it from you. So we can get, even though we may be a little bit concerned about, these scary images of the goddess, it's not for us to be afraid of. It's for that energy inside of us that has been there for quite a long time. And it's not going to just leave readily and easily. It's going to say, you know what? You're kicking me out. I've been with you for a long time. And you're saying, I'm done. I've learned that I don't need to suffer. I've learned that joy is a better option. And so we need these kind of like scary looking goddess forms, like Pratyangara, who is this lion head, and she's got fangs and, scary. It's got holding a guy's head in one arm. So you can look at these images and go, whoa, this is kind of spooky, but it's really to scare away the energies that are leaving us, all the pain, all the suffering, all that fear, anger, frustration, even that which we've inherited, all the pain and the suffering, maybe through long-term chronic illness or dysfunctional relationships. All that we can be relieved of that. So it tells those dark forces in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual sense, to leave us. And then it sends this protective energy, and you will feel it. And that's what you need to do, is you need to feel it. You need to experience it, not only during this month, but you will feel afterwards when you're faced with challenges, or you interface with these relationships that were problematic, or you look at your bank and your bank statement and you go, oh my God, and you go into scarcity consciousness, and then that you spiral into that kind of fear mongering, and it pulls your energy down. You'll just be looking at it and going, all right, calling on the goddess now, open the doors for me, open up different opportunities for me. I'm ready, because that energy has awakened inside of you. And then those doors that were closed for you, that so many of the mystics have written about, even contemporary mystics have written about it as well. And they have said the doors will open that were not available to you before because you weren't at that level of consciousness. You didn't have that energy or that support or will to do it. So Dr. Pillai doesn't want you to blink and miss it. You've got Mahalakshmi, another three priest Homa going on. So all these different, the Aadi Fridays are going to be happening, Aadi Valley Fridays. And this is all going to create the energy to give you health, happiness of the body, the mind, the soul. You'll feel joy in your being. You'll feel that spring in your step, regardless of your age or regardless of what has happened in your life. And this is what people say, that I just can't let go. I can't let go of all the hurt and all the pain and all the suffering. It kills me. And you just say, oh my God, how can I help you to let go? No one can help you to let go. So the goddess will. The goddess will just say enough. And she will just dissolve it away. And you'll be in those situations. You'll go, whoa, I don't feel that anymore. And that will be a miracle. Because when you keep holding on to those kinds of situations, it leads to like a bitterness, and we don't want to feel that. We're done with that. So this is the month of Aadi is great, a great time to honor the goddess inside of you, to wake it up, to help her, to help you to deal with all your challenges once and for all. And then all that energy that we have been participating in through our meditations, our chanting practices, our offerings to the goddess. You can give her lemons or limes. She likes that. So you can, offer it, or you can use it as a surrogate technology. So for example, I have a lemon here, and you can take it, you can give it to her, and then you can offer it as an offering. Okay, here, goddess, please take this offering. And then she will in return put all the negativity from the space that has been surrounding you. Or it's like that when you go out into your community and then you come back and you feel so agitated, then you can just say, okay, goddess, you can take this, I'm giving you this lemon, and then put all that negative energy that's inside of me into the lemon, and then you can cut it. You can also take it and roll it around. So that is taking the karma out of the throat, or the eyes, the ears, the nostrils, the different orifices, those sensory organs that absorb the karmas and automatically. It's like we're like a sponge, they're holes. So that's where the karma comes in. And that's where we perceive through what we hear, through what we see, through what we smell, we taste, or what we take in through speech, or what we say outside. And then also through the pores of our skin, that we absorb this negativity that's surrounding us. So this COVID is a great time for the goddess to come in, because you'll really feel her coming in. It's not like, oh, was she here or not? When everything is good, you don't really feel it, because there's light, there's happiness, there's joy. But then there's something deep seated in us that it's all this love and joy and happiness is all man-made, or it's all material. It's the material world. But then we want to go deeper. We want to have go beyond the superficial. We want to go deep inside and say, what is my true purpose? What is my true self? What is my soulmate? Or who is my soulmate? Or what is my soul's purpose? So these are the kinds of questions that we're all faced with. And we are hearing from people who have not been ever on a spiritual path, and they're saying, oh my God, I'm inquiring now in ways that I didn't even think I had the ability to ask those kinds of questions, or the intelligence to ask those kinds of questions. And that's when we know the goddess is coming into the earth plane more and more. So we need that contrast. This is the realm of opposites. And we need to reconcile this, the pairs of opposites. So darkness, light, black, white, up, down, he said, she said, so it's the conflict, the contrast. We want to, it's always going to be there, and we're going to know it. And then we're going to evolve beyond it. So we're going to rise above it, and then we'll be in that realm of the goddess, of the gods, of these spiritual beings without having to die of this physical body. So with that, OMG, we will get into an experience with the goddess, and then we will take some questions or some shared experiences, the comments. You can post them on the chat here on the YouTube. So let's get into it now. We're going to close our eyes and shut the world out. We're going to close our eyes and open our inner eye with the grace and blessings, the support of Dr. Ply and these divine beings. So closing your eyes and putting your attention internally, we can call on Lord Ganesha to remove the obstacles for the Kundalini energy to move up the spine, piercing all the chakras, the psycho-spiritual centers that are stacked on top of one another. So imagine this ray of light piercing these chakras, going from the base of your spine, through the brain, through the skull, and up, 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 up into the space. And then Ganesha is an elephant-headed being. He has a pot belly and he rides a mouse. And he's the one who helps us to connect with the goddess. So imagine a reddish orangish light pouring down your legs into your feet and toes and into the earth plane. The earth is Mother Earth. It's the goddess Earth. And it's also Bhumi Devi, which is a form of Lakshmi as well. And there's a tremendous amount of wealth that comes from the earth. Gold comes from the earth, diamonds, gems. So we want to feel that energy coming up, back up in from the earth into our feet and up the legs, into the pelvic region and back down again. So we're just swimming with that energy of the goddess. And Ganesha, reddish orangish light. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Guru Guru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Now we'll enliven the chakras beginning at the base of the spine and imagine as each sound activates the chakra, it will be like a pebble in a pond, rippling out as the pebble sound enters, radiating out in all directions. Release anything that's causing you pain and enjoy the goddess energy coming in that void, filling that void. Base of the spine. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Move up to the throat, clear the throat. Ma. Move up to the middle of the brain, the third eye. Float back down to the base of the spine. Connect with the earth element in your legs as well. Feel grounded in your practice. Na, 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 na. Move into the belly, the navel chakra. Fill it with water. Ma, 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 ma. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest, also down the arms and hands and fingers. Set them on fire. Feel the heat. She, 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 she. Now move up to the throat, the mouth, the nostrils. Connect with the air element or the subtle air, prana. Va, 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 va. Now move into the two eyes. Keep your eyeballs steady and still. The right and left brain. Connect with the ether, the Akash, space. Ya, 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 ya. Now all your chakras are spinning, releasing negativity, absorbing the power, the energy of the Kundalini, the goddess. Imagine Dr. Pillai appearing before you in a form you're familiar with or a light. Feel his energy, his light moving into your aura. He sends two rays or beams of light penetrating your eyeballs, coming from his eyes, dispelling the suffering, the pain, the karma that you're seeing in your life, and empowering you with the goddess in the eyes. Another beam of light enters the spot between your two eyebrows. Feel the pressure piercing the forehead, activating the pituitary, the pineal, the third eye. In the middle of your brain, coming from Dr. Pillai's third eye. Steady, lock on to this empowerment. Feel the goddess in your brain, in your eyes, in your body. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Feel the goddess entering you. Feel the Kundalini rising. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Feel the heat, the tingling, the shivers of the goddess. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Now focus your attention on your third eye. Imagine the goddess Lakshmi Shrimbrazi in your third eye as a pink, beautiful being on a pink lotus. Sparkles of gold and silver, dazzling light radiating in your brain as she appears and pours gold coins into you, filling you up with gold. Sarvamangalamangale Shive Sarvarthasadike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Shrim Brazi Namaha. Sarvamangalamangale Shive Sarvarthasadike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Shrim Brazi Lakshmi Namaha. Keep merging with the goddess in your third eye. Feel your brain tingling. The neurons are firing. Your body's lighting up with gold. Sarvamangalamangale Shive Sarvarthasadike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Shrim Brazi Lakshmi Namaha. Now the goddess Shrimbrazi Varahi appears as a boar-headed goddess with incredible beauty. She roots out poverty consciousness once and for all from your brain, from your third eye, from your whole body. She's the goddess of the golden age, the goddess of 2020. Feel her. Imagine your consciousness merging with hers. You become her. Om Shrim Brazi Shri Swarnavarahi Devyai Namaha. golden goddess Varahi is in your third eye, lighting up your body, mind, and soul with gold consciousness. Om Shreem Brazi Shri Swarna Varahi Devye Namaha. Om Shreem Brazi Shri Swarna Varahi Devye Namaha. Now the goddess Sangali comes and joins Shri Brazi and Varahi. She's a fierce goddess with beauty beyond what you can imagine. She has weapons to destroy all negative forces, root out fear, anger, frustration, anything that is blocking your ability to receive wealth, health, happiness, joy. She's a warrior, and she'll bring you the highest intelligence, wisdom of the golden age. Taye Tama Angali Varahi Shrim Brazi. Feel the power, the Shakti, the energy creating pressure in your brain, giving you strength in your body. Tayatamangali Varahi Shrim Brazi. All these goddesses are dancing in your body, your mind, your soul. Feel the energy and the power. Tayatamangali Varahi Shrim Brazi. 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 Feel the dance of the goddess inside, outside, all around. Aum, Aum. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul. Peace to the world. And just let go. You can keep your eyes closed for as long as you like. Enjoy the bliss and blessings of the goddess through the grace of Dr. Ply, activating Shakti inside of you. And slowly, slowly open your eyes and come back to yourselves. For those of you who need to go, thanks for joining. It's been a lively shared experience today. And the goddess is making us to feel it. So whether that's good or not so good, we know that we're alive and we are going to get through this time with the help of the goddess, awakening our birthright, our ability to connect with the Kundalini energy and then experience miracles. So God bless you all. For those of you who need to go, thanks for joining. We'll see you when we see you next. And then those of you who are going to stay, thank you for creating this space and continuing on. It'll be nice to see some of the questions or maybe shared experiences on the chat, which I'm just taking a look at now. So mostly it's people saying hello. Have you come back from your meditation? It feels like we were in and out. However, an hour has gone by. So yeah, Angali, Angali, Angali. So this Sangali and Varahi, these are the goddesses of the golden age. As per Dr. Ply, the Siddha lineage, the tradition that he comes from, have said to him, listen, these are the goddesses of 2020 and of the golden age, and they're the ones who have the most power and intelligence for the earth plane and everybody here as it is needed for us at this point in time. So these goddesses, maybe some people are familiar, but maybe not. And even if you know about them, getting the initiation by Dr. Ply is most important. And although he's here, his consciousness is here in this space to create that connection for everyone, there are courses offered through Ply Center Academy where you can get initiated into Angali, into Varahi, and Shrimrazi as of now. So check those out, those courses out, and see who is going to call on you to be your BFF throughout this Aadi month. It may be one, it may be all of them. So we don't know, but once we connect with that energy, that intelligence, that consciousness, that's what's going to open the doors for us. Not what I'm saying to you or anyone else. We've got to experience it on our own. So we can only give you the direction or the guidance, but then you've got to act on it. And who is the you? It's your highest form or sense of yourself. That intelligence that says, hey, come on, quit suffering. Just go and do this. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to understand it. Just unlock the secrets of your soul. And for some strange reason, you're here. Maybe it's not strange, but maybe you're just like, wow, I can't believe, I'm raised in a different culture, tradition, and I am loving this. Or, oh, what am I doing here? And then all of a sudden you you start to see the changes in your life and you're going, whoa, this works. It doesn't really matter what I think. So not that you're going to go follow blindly. In some ways we are, because we're closing our eyes. So that's kind of a blind way to be. Temporarily, we are being blinded by the light of the goddess. And being with Dr. Ply, he helps us to filter that energy, or filter that intelligence that has the energy intelligence of millions of suns. So we don't want to have a burning bush moment like Moses did, where he went blind. We want to be able to communicate with these divine beings, this tremendous light, this tremendous heat, without losing our faculties. So Pete is saying here, I was carrying my goddess Lakshmi statue in my hand. I picked up my dog with the other hand. The statue inadvertently touched the dog. Does that render my statue ineffective? Absolutely not. Maybe your dog needed a blessing. So if that happens where, it can fall, or it can, slip out of your hands, or you can have it sitting there and then someone comes and visits you and touches it, don't worry so much about it. You can just rinse it off with some water or rose water, or you can do a full-on sacred bath, abhishekam, where you're pouring milk, juice, water, honey, ghee. You can put yogurt on it, and then that will really help to re-energize your connection with the goddess. So again, we don't want to get into hard and fast rules that have been perhaps passed on through the traditions, and the Vedic priests do it a certain way. That is their karma. So being with the master, he just says, hey, it's the Kali Yuga, do anything, and with your heartfelt intention as best as you can, and that you will be guided. You'll buy the items and you'll say, I'm not going to put ghee on it today, but I will put yogurt. So we start to commune with these divine beings, and they become our best friends. They become part of our intelligence that knows. It helps to awaken our intuition. We're not just hitting and missing. We're guided, and it's because we've connected with this intelligence and we did something in the physical world, in the physical form, that we held it and we felt the shift. We saw the shift. We saw things happening as we were pouring. We experienced some idea coming to us, some image, some light. And then that's how we know that the goddess has gotten into us. And then the goddess will be thereafter guiding us. So when we go out and about, we say, okay, goddess, protect me, help me to breathe through this mask, help me to navigate these situations where I would be upset, or I would be coming back home and feeling all this yucky energy all around me. You'll come and go, and you won't be affected at all. And even you will be bringing a lot of joy and happiness, and that pours out into the space, not because you're doing it, because you've activated the goddess energy inside, outside, all around. You even send the goddess ahead of time to go clear the way, so you have, you can get a parking spot that's close by the entry point or exit point of the store. You can, have no lineups. You can have nobody that is going to bother you, and your experience is beautiful. Or if you have to go to work and you're fearful that somebody's going to give you COVID, you won't have that fear, that anxiety. You'll feel that protection. Of course, you're going to do adhere to the social norms of keeping social distance and so on, and protecting yourself. But then you won't have that anxiety, that fear, that energy that's around you that feels like you're so weighed down, or you're agitated, and you're really having to put a lot of effort. It will be effortless. So you'll just move with more grace and ease. And this is the month to really feel the goddess protecting you. So Suresh is saying, could you please provide the last mantra you used in the meditation? Yeah, I can. What we'll do, Suresh, is we'll send it in the email reminder that gets sent out after these calls. And we'll send you the spelling of each mantra. And then you can, copy and paste it there. Gina has posted it there. Taye tama angali varahi shrimbrazi. Gina. So Brenda is saying, appreciate your generous sharing of knowledge and then facilitating the experience of it. Well, that's the most important thing, right? We can read books. I've read thousands of books. This is just one of my little bookshelves in the background. And, I used to be so like, oh, I read all this stuff. And it was just like, okay, that's done. That was interesting and done with that. Now what? So it's good to have an intellectual understanding if that's the way you acquire knowledge, or if it just happens that way. It's not like I searched it out. It would just be collecting all these books. Literally, some of them would be falling off the bookshelf in the bookstore, and I'd be like, oh, this is exactly the book I need at that point in time. So it's a collection over the past 25 years of studying with Dr. Ply. And, it's a variety of books, but then we go beyond it. So our intellect gets satisfied. We have some understanding. You don't want to keep collecting books and having to, revisit them and read them and go over them again, because that's, again, living a kind of a superficial, or just, scratching the surface of what you're all about. You got the kingdom or the queendom. So how to access that is through the grace and blessings of a Sat Guru. Sat means the truth. Guru means to get rid of that which you're ignoring, all the ignorance. He removes, or she removes, ignorance. So we're ignoring the truth of who we really are. We're creators of our own world. Again, you shut your eyes and the world is that surrounds you is temporarily hidden away from you, or you're hidden away from it. And then you go into your inner world. And that's what Christ talked about, the owning that kingdom within. That's our birthright. It doesn't take any other qualification than to stick with your spiritual path. So how to connect with the goddess. You can review that YouTube that I did today, that I hosted today, and it should be there in Ply Center, also on this Ply Center practice. And but then you can be chanting Shrimbrazi or the Tayeta Mangali Varahi Shrimbrazi. You can chant Varahi's mantra. You can go into Ply Center Academy and get initiated by Dr. Ply through those courses, and he will activate the goddess energy in you. There's a goddess wisdom course. Whoa, that is amazing. Because see, what we're doing is we're breaking down the consciousness of our human limited way of being and how we think and what we do in our lives. So our thinking, feeling, emotional experience, our life as we experience it unfolds, our interaction with others. So that is kind of like scratching the surface again. It's just coping with whatever is going on and thinking that is real, the truth of who we are. But then there's this hidden truth. And that is something that we really need to unlock the secrets and build that consciousness. So each time you get initiated, you're building a new layer or level of consciousness inside of your being from head to toe. So it takes a bit to tear it down, just like you would in renovations. You have to deconstruct to create something new. So that's what the life is to chip away at the David, which is just like a rock. But then you chip it away and it becomes this beautiful statue, image, a divine image. So Assange is saying, please keep on posting about some courses which are less in money. Well, here's the thing. You can get free teachings through the YouTube as well. So go and check out Ply Center Practice YouTube or Ply Center YouTube, Dr. Ply giving the teachings of these different goddesses. Those are free. So just download them or play them again and again every day this month. And then you'll connect with them. And then the money might show up. If the money comes out of nowhere, then you know, okay, the goddess wants you to get the initiations through these other courses. So check that out. Christine is saying, for a drinking problem, who do you pray to intervene? Any of the goddesses, because we're addicted to everything. So we have problems. Generally speaking, we take in substances to mask the pain and the suffering. So, and we inherit it through the generations. You can see it. That will be somewhere in your gene pool. And so we need to clean that up. And then Aadi month, that new moon this month, which is in a few days from now, it is a time period to connect with the ancestors. So please do the Tarpanam offering every day between sunrise and sunset. So sunlight hours in the day. Again, Tarpanam practice is something that we've talked about lots. And Dr. Ply has also shared about it. And there is a soul genetics course that you can take in Ply Center. And that is a really powerful initiation into the realm of your ancestors. And they will reveal their presence to you. And you'll know which ones who are really restless. You can participate in a year-long Tarpanam service, which I do and have been for years, because what I'm seeing is, or observing and experience, is all those kinds of addictions. So alcohol, drugs, sex addictions, bickering, fighting, the addictions to like workaholics, people who just avoid interacting with family, and the family falls apart because the person is a workaholic. So all that extreme behavior that has been inherited by the ancestors, we've inherited that problem through the lineage. It gets cleaned up. And then what happens is you start to see if there are people in your life, such as siblings or even parents, you've had just problematic relationships in those areas of life with those people in your life, and you do the Tarpanam, participate in the year-long Tarpanam that includes these kind of special new moons like Aadi Amavasya. So it can get cleaned up at the level of the soul of you, and whatever you do, everyone else in your life benefits. And so addictions in other people's lives, such as siblings or parents, or, your kids, or, your nieces or nephews, those who are really near and dear to you, it gets cleaned up and they don't even know. So that's even better. Because yes, you can get counseling and support and, Alcoholics Anonymous or whatever it is that helps with addictions therapy. It can help you to cope up. It can help you to see how important it is to go deeper into it. And how to go deeper into it is with a higher intelligence. And the goddess will do that. So you can just keep chanting to the goddess, do your Tarpanam offerings, participate if you can in the year-long program. I like it because it's a monthly payment, so I just do it. And then that cleans it up, because I just will waste that small amount every month on stupid stuff. So what I've seen is it just cleans up everything in the whole lineage, like the descendants here on the earth plane. And then you know that the ancestors are happy. And as Dr. Ply shared, all our spiritual practices will not bear fruit until we get the blessings from the ancestors. So take this to heart and go deep, deep, deep inside of yourself and say, I need to clean up my gene pool. I need to clean up the genes that are dysfunctional and they're causing behavioral problems. Weight, people who have a lot of, they're overweight, and they have a lot of problems because of that excess weight. That's karmic, as Dr. Ply shares. Even Patanjali shares that weight is karmic. So there's a karmic weight loss program that is offered through Ply Center, through Patanjali teachings, that Dr. Ply activates and initiates you into. So that's something you can explore as well. So the year-long Tarpanam you'll drop weight like nothing. You don't even know that you're changing anything. And then everything starts to shift and move, and you can get rid of burden in life. It causes a lot of pain and in the emotional pain as well. So you'll feel the healing coming, that health coming back, the healing of your body, your mind, your soul. It's very mysterious, but it's also spiritual science. So treat it like that. You are your own science experiment. Nobody's going to do it for you. However, you're going to be introduced to or invited to explore these divine teachings and then see how that unfolds in your life. We can only encourage you because we've experienced it through all these years. And everything is changing. And everything is, life is an adventure. Life is an exploration. Life is extraordinary. You find yourself in situations where you go, whoa, how did that happen? And it's not just a one-off. It's like it happens again and again and again. So life is enriched. It's you feel rich with rituals. It sounds like that. You feel the wealth, the happiness, the health, the vibrancy. There was tremendous suffering in my life, and I laugh at it now because it's just like, oh my God, who was I back then? It was karmic. So how to clean it up is you chip it away like the David, and these are the tools that you use. So Suhani is saying if we take Tarpanam package, we don't need to perform it on our own each day. We always do things on our own because we need to physically do something. We can know that this is going on in India on our behalf at these power spots that we can't even get to. Even if we were in India, we wouldn't be able to travel around and get there. So it's done at the level of the soul. So physically, we don't necessarily have to be here. Although, hey, if you get to go to India one day and you want to check out those power spots, whoa, you'll have the blessings of the ancestors to do that. And it is a tremendous experience. So you can do it at home as I do every day, because it's like brushing your teeth. You want to physically do something so that I feel a shift in my consciousness. I'm kind of sleepy and just got to get going and do my stuff. So you ask for the blessings of the ancestors. So you can do the tarpana, or it gets done on your behalf, and then you can physically do the offering as well. Oh, thank you so much. Is that Radha that's posting the link for Tarpanam package? Thank you. Gary is saying here, I think I'm being attacked by malevolent entities. Which deity would you suggest for protection? The goddesses. So all month long, Gary, you just keep praying to the goddesses. And check out their images. They're pretty scary images, or they're kind of interesting, but when I first saw them, I was like, oh my God, I come from a Catholic background, and that's like, Antichrist. But then it's not the same as Christ. But then you look at the saints and the depictions of all these spiritual beings in the Christian backgrounds, and they had swords and all kinds of weapons as well. So it's for the spiritual realm. That we are using these symbols. They're sacred symbols that kind of unlock the secrets of how we can protect ourselves. So it's like you have a key. You don't really know which door to open. So these goddesses, some of them are pretty fierce looking, and they have to be to scare away those dark forces inside of us, because we'll just be okay with it. We'll be like, oh, well, it's in a closet, so doesn't really matter. But that energy is staying with us, and the goddess says, no, I'm going to root you out. So call on the goddesses, Gary, or anyone else. Gina's saying, I was told addiction is in my astrology. Yeah, so astrology is your look into your blueprint. So we all have the map of our life, and like a GPS. So you're destined, you're born into something, and then you're destined to do something by the end of the life, and everything in between, you're just going to keep plotting your course. So that's what astrology is. It helps you to see into all of that and then to navigate it. So if addiction is there, then, maybe it's like a Rahu or a Ketu thing, or the moon, something like that. So that just gives you an indication of what your karma is that you want to work out. So you came here, Gina, to work out this type of karma. And so coming on the spiritual path with Dr. Ply, you can get the blessings. I would suggest everyone do Tarpanam. And that's what Dr. Ply shared. If you don't do any other spiritual practice and you just did Tarpanam every day or had it done for you in these power spots, that's it. You just need the blessings of the ancestors, because the ancestors are not just your biological ancestors, because some people don't even know who their parents are or their true biological gene pool is. So you may have been adopted, or somehow you have a different family that is not you're not related to them in a biological sense. However, in a spiritual sense or karmic sense, you are. So you have some unfinished business that needs to get cleaned up, and that's the Tarpanam will also help you to access these spiritual beings as well, who have cursed you perhaps to in other lifetimes. So you can get you could have been on a spiritual path, and then you disrespected your elders or your teachers, your masters, and they said, oh, that's okay in that lifetime. And then in this lifetime, oh my God, you really feel it. So we have to propitiate those beings and get their blessings as well, so that we can move on in our spiritual path and also progress in our material pursuits. So thank you so much. I believe that is Radha on Ply Center Practice for the year-long Tarpanam packages there. Goddess Fridays in the Aadi month. The link is there. And the Bhagavati Seva link is there on the chat. Aadi Amavasya, the new Amavasya means new moon, if I didn't say that already. I think you have full moon to clear the debts. Aadi Amavasya. I think that's new moon. Full moon is Purnama. So I don't know, maybe it is. Oh, it is the new moon. Okay, good. So Pete is saying, I do Darpanam daily to ask for an umbrella of protection due to COVID-19. And yeah, that's what we want. We want the intelligence to ask. Ask for protection. The Bible says, ask. It's a mantra, as Dr. Ply shares, ask and you shall receive. If we don't ask, if we're kind of neurotic in our prayers, we're not very practical, then we will just be in fear. Oh my God, I need, help. But just say, hey, look I don't want to be fearful anymore, upset anymore, anxious. There's way too much anxiety even before COVID. So now I'm over the top. And we just call on the goddess and then feel that protection. So her energy is quite timely for this COVID experience that we're all going through. And not just COVID, but it's, protecting our finances, protecting our relationships, protecting our intelligence, our willpower to keep going on our spiritual path. Because life is, we're born at one end, we die at the other end, and we do stuff in between. So we want to get a lot of karma done during the lifetime, and we don't know when the end is going to be. There's even astrology will not be able to pinpoint it, because there will be divine intervention, providence they call it, where something happens. You're predicted to die at a certain age, and then you get a get out of jail card free. You get out of that, so that you don't have to physically die off. You've maybe died off to your old ways of being, and then you've entered a new way of being and connecting with the spiritual path in a whole new way. So in that instance, you'll know it. You will be like, oh my God, it was a near hit or near miss, where you could have been taken out in an accident, and the car is totaled, that you walk away like, whoa, how did that happen? We will say it's a miracle. And what is a miracle? It's a supernatural happening. It's not natural for that to happen. You coming out unscathed. So there was divine intervention. That something saved you, and that something is a higher intelligence, because you decided to get on a spiritual path and you didn't get taken out. So these stories, they're the mythology that has been passed on through the cultures, through the traditions, beyond the Indian tradition. It's the story changes a little bit to reflect the culture or the time period, but it remains. And then it's all about human evolution and what we all go through, how we interface with these divine realms, and who are these divine beings. It's not about what your belief system is. It's about how you're experiencing the intelligence that is available. And then you can navigate accordingly. So this path isn't for everyone, but it is for you, for you're here for some reason or another. And it's strange, isn't it? But it's magical. It's an adventure. So Tarsika is saying here, when we do Tarpanam, some priest said we may attract unwanted ancestors that are not even ours. It might cause more distress than benefit. What is your opinion on all that? Yeah, that's what will happen. So, or can happen. So there can be restless spirits that are like, no, I don't want any of this, and I'm just going to keep coming and disturbing. So that's going to be there regardless. So what we can do is we do the Tarpanam, and you call on the ancestors to take care of those ones who don't want to evolve, because they're in that realm. So they can negotiate with them on your behalf, because on your behalf, because you're feeding the ancestors what they need to protect themselves, to raise their vibration, to deal with these nasty entities. So, and if you participate in the year-long service, you will find that you will always be protected from that. And all of us have those kind of situations in our lives, those stories about ancestors who have gone before us. And remember, ancestors are people who are dead. They're no more. And they can be, not only parents or grandparents or great grandparents. It can be like aunts and uncles, can be siblings who have passed before you, or children even. So it can be those spirits of those who didn't live a full life, and they are coming to disturb, and they're upset because they didn't get to live a full life, but they share your genes. And then they start to activate that kind of silly energy inside of you, and you're like, wow, you'll experience that. So the Tarpanam will take care of that. It will clean that out of your genes. So doing the year-long Tarpanam is something that is, God, I don't even know how to describe it for you, other than it just does clean it up. And not just for you, for everyone in your life over the years that you do it. So that is way more effective than anything that you can do on a sort of mundane or superficial level to manage all those problems that people are facing in your life. Gary says, I seem to be drawn to Isis, Lakshmi, and Kali. So should I ask them for protection? Absolutely. And see, the goddess, she will show you who to pray to and when. And there are so many of them. Oh my God, we could be praying forever today to all of them that are available. But just like there are, like about 8 billion people on the planet, there's that many gods and goddesses that the consciousness, remember, it's human beings, we all look different. We all have different opinions, or different interests, or different hobbies, or different ways of being. So we have different backgrounds, we have different intelligence. So although at the level of the soul, we're all one. So we have this connection with divine beings, so that they can communicate with us, and then that will satisfy us. That we will say, hey, I'm unique, and I like this particular god or goddesses. So yes, Gary. whoever you gravitate towards, or whatever the practice is, or if you want to participate in these services that are offered through Ply Center Astrovid, then you will just, the goddess inside of you, that Kundalini energy, which is intelligence. It says, hey, do this. And you'll be just like, oh, I'm not sure. But when you really feel that heat or you get fired up, it's not you, it's that goddess getting into you and saying, do this. And how many times have we felt that in our belly? That's where our intuition is. That's where creation is. Our gut feeling is. And if we listen to our gut, then it takes us always in the right direction. So, okay, great. Thanks, Radha. You are Radha. Great. Cow donation, Tanis is saying here, should we do the cow donation instead of Tarpanum? It's totally up to you. Again, read about the cow donation and read about the Tarpanum and see what resonates for you. Sheena's asked the same thing. So it depends on how you are experiencing your own everyday life. Again, your spiritual path isn't something you do and then you do your life. We're asking for the support. And because we are so used to having so many options, kind of like you go and you go to a Mac store, Apple store, and you just go, oh my God, there's so many, which one? And then you spend hours talking to different sales reps, and then you leave and you say, okay, I got to think about this and come back, and you go back and forth because it's a big investment and it means a lot to you. And then finally you get fired up about the one that is for you, and you just go and you get it, and it is the perfect one. So trust in that. We have so many different options because that's the consciousness that we're all at. We're at so many different ways of connecting with the goddess, and memories maybe that we had unfinished business. And then the goddess said, okay, do you want help now? Okay, let's do it. So I think I've commented on all the different postings, the great questions, and your shared experiences have been wonderful to read. And thanks so much, Radha, for posting all the links. And Radha will also send out in the newsletter, in the weekly email, the synopsis of everything, or the summary of this call, and then the reminders with all the links of what we shared about today. So you have it right there, and then you can just click on it and we'll take you to that page. So sign up for that if you haven't done that. Maybe, Radha, you can post the Ply Center practice sign up on Ply Center. It's hidden now somewhere. It's not even under the free tab anymore. Soul Genetics course, Pete is in Ply Center Academy. It's called Soul Genetics. And it is an initiation where what happens is you feel the connection to your ancestors, because you're being initiated into the teachings that will unlock that door to your and the ancestral realm inside of you. So Dr. Ply initiates you into that teaching, and then it unlocks everything inside of you, and oh my God, this is why this is happening. So Soul Genetics is something that it's an evergreen program, meaning that you'll always have access to it. You can keep revisiting it. You can implement those teachings, maybe during new moons or during particular times that are recommended in that course as well. Oh, you have it. So definitely do it on the new moon coming up, Aadi Amavasya. Revisit it and just do those teachings throughout that whole day, and pray for your ancestors. Pray for them. Pray for them to be relieved of all the suffering and all the mistakes that they made. So Radha has posted here to sign up and get weekly Powertime practice emails. There is the link, and it's free. So you can go and do that. All right. So we have had an enjoyable time together. We're almost coming to another hour going by. You know, it was interesting. I was watching a YouTube that said it was a guy who talked about how to live your true life purpose, and how you will know you are is because you will just be doing something that seems like you know, a few minutes are going by and it's really hours that go by. And that's what I feel like here in Ply Center and practice here, Powertime practice, is that Dr. Ply's grace and blessings are here, and all the divine beings are always surrounding us. That's what all the masters say. They're always surrounding us. We're always surrounded by angels or gods or goddesses or these divine beings who are supporting us. And we're so busy, you know, with our lives and running about here and there and busy doing our work or our chores or whatever it is. And we don't really feel the presence of them or experience the presence of them. And then we come and do our practice or hang out here, and we just never want to leave because the divine is so present. The consciousness is there and it's capturing our attention. So when the time flies by, we're certainly having an experience with these divine beings, and Dr. Ply is making sure that we get filled up every week so that we can have this energy, this intelligence that will keep us empowered and keep us uplifted and keep us exploring more and more of the spiritual realm, so we don't have to die and find out about it. We can die off to our old way of being and tap into it and use it and put it to work in our lives. So Oromiti is saying, during my meditation, something happened for a second time. I fell asleep. I was flying like in an airplane. I don't know where I was. And it was 4 a.m., like a vivid dream. That's what you can do too. Thanks so much for sharing about that. When we do pass out, it's not because we, you know, something's wrong. It just means that the goddess, Dr. Ply has said this, the goddess will do her work in your sleep. So trust in the goddess, that intelligence inside of you that will take you through your meditative process or your chanting process. And she will do it when and how you need it to be done. So again, trying to control the spiritual realm, well, that's a slippery slope. Because then you are in your mind, you're trying to do something. Even people say, oh, I had this beautiful practice where I saw these images and then I really wanted to have it again. I wanted to repeat it and there was nothing. It was black, it was dark. As if nothing is going on thereafter. No, we just don't, the divine just doesn't want you to get caught up in another movie, you know. So you can have these experiences, you can fall asleep because tremendous amount of energy comes in and it's whoa, so it will make you to pass out or be in you know, that half awake, half dreaming state. So you're here but you're not, or you're kind of in a different world, or you know, like kids where you just see them staring into space, babies especially, you know, and they're just radiating all this energy and this light, and because they're not too far from heaven or too long from heaven, so they have that heavenly quality. So we can get into that kind of state where we're gapped out, we're in the gap, and then that's when you're connected to the divine. So you're here but you're not really here, you're in that lucid dreaming state perhaps. So a lot of things can be happening at that time, and especially since you said 4 a.m., that's the Brahma Muhurta time, where the gods and the goddess energy is so palpable. So you're immersing in it and you're just getting all energized by it. So wild and vivid dreams can be karma gets worked out. so that you don't have to have it happen on the in the everyday life. And then also it can just be residual psychic memories, or psychological memories, just bits and pieces that don't make sense. And they're kind of vivid and strange and broken, but it's just piece by piece it's leaving you. Someone is saying here, if you split the cow donation, does it reduce the effectiveness of the remedy? What do you mean by splitting it? Like splitting it with someone else? I think you can sign up for like family packages. So you can sign, you do it, and then you add your family's a certain number of people in your family. I think it's maybe 3 or 4. So, and it doesn't reduce the effectiveness of it. How effective are fire labs watching online? You gotta watch it online. Oh my God. So I've been in person in India. I go there every year and spend some time and sit by the fireside, and the priests, whoa, you go in, definitely you experience it all because you're in the presence of it. You feel the heat, the smell, everything. And then I come back here to Toronto, Canada, and I watch it online, and I still feel that. I even smell the fire. Some people who've never experienced a fire lab in person, they pick up that their senses come alive beyond across the miles, and technology gives you that experience. Just like when you watch a movie, you feel like you're in it. So, you're one of the characters, or you can really empathize, or you connect with the character's energy, and you start to feel, what they're feeling. So that's how it is when you connect with the divine beings, with the technologies. You feel it, and you're burning, and you're smelling it, and you're as if you are there. So definitely the god or the goddess is putting you into that position, whether you're getting the initiation online or that experience online, or whether it's in person. That's what your soul needs at that time. Hopefully that's helpful for you. But you've got to try it out. So you can, if you don't want to invest in it yet, there are so many replays of fire labs that's free. So watch the replay and see what you feel like, and what your experience is, and then you can participate. Debo is saying here, thank you so much for such a wonderful experience, making us enlightening. And that's what we want to do, is we want to light up our lives. We want to experience our birthright, which is to connect with all these angels and gods and goddesses. Like the Bible says, we're born with angels. But after some time, we don't experience that anymore. We get into life. And then you can read about it, but you don't feel it anymore. So it's there. And this is why studying with the master, with the Sadguru, he'll show you the truth of who you really are, and who's around you, and what's around you, and what's inside of you. So every time you do a timely practice, so power time is about getting enlightened. You're enlivened, you're full of vitality, energy, intelligence. Is it you? It could be, but it's also that consciousness that is here now, and then guiding you to get the most out of being in the right place at the right time, thinking, saying, and doing the right thing. That's miracle consciousness. So let's wrap it up. We're getting close to the hour, and you can definitely send your questions into powertimepractice@plycenter.com, or send me an email, sutrit@plycenter.com. I know some of you have requested coaching, personal coaching, and now is the time for me to respond to you. Always, I want to do coaching so that we have a divine experience. It's not just done randomly. So this is a really great time, and then it will prepare you to connect with the goddess, because we will be looking at your situation, giving you different options on how you can navigate life with more grace and ease. And then you will come out of that coaching session as if, whoa, I just went to a place of peace and joy and happiness, and connecting with Dr. Ply's energy, his grace, because he is your true master. I'm just the facilitator of that whole process. So happy to do it. Happy to be of support. So God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Radha, for helping out here, and everyone else for creating that space for the goddess to come in. And then you're going to feel this empowerment all through the rest of the week. And we'll see you next time we come together. Namaste.